What's going on, YouTube? Thank you for tuning in to another video. Just as the title states, it's an over 1,000 mile update on my 2021 Giant Contend AR, which is right behind me. To my right, or your guys' left maybe, it's going to be a 2021 Live Devote 2, which is my fiance's bike. If you guys want information on that bike, comment down below and I'll try to answer it the best I can, or whatever responses she gives to me to give to you guys. And a breakdown of kind of what's going on in this video is I just want to give any positive, negatives, and possibly regrets or upgrades that I've done to this bike since that 400 mile update. And most likely will be my last video on this particular bike until I either get a new one or decide to sell it, which is hopefully not anytime soon, but let's get into it. So we'll just jump into the negatives first, just to get that out of the way. And so far, with this particular bike, I've had not seen or felt anything bad about it. The only thing is the carbon creaking, which is through the handlebars and the seat posts. So if you are new in getting a carbon seat or carbon frame, carbon handlebars, you may run into the creaking sound, and you could add carbon paste or anything along those lines to actually fill that squeaking sound. That is actually my only and main negative with this particular bike. So getting into the positives of this bike, and I'm sure this will work for Contend AR 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. As the AR is stands for all-arounder. This is a great bike overall. I've had all positives. It's light, has a good drivetrain, has done everything well. It's set up tubeless right out of when you buy from the bike shop, or if you order through Giant, I'm sure it will come tubeless as well. So I don't have to worry about any punctures. And if I do, please carry a spare tube with you just so you can avoid that issue. It's done everything well. It gets up to speed quickly. I don't feel like I'm carrying a huge bike with me that's heavy. I previously had a hybrid bike and it wasn't that much more heavier than this one. I think this one weighs in about 22 pounds. I'm not sure with pedals, but my previously hybrid bike was around 26, 27, maybe 28. And you can definitely tell the difference between a couple pounds, especially if you're going on a longer distance. And this bike handles it like a champ. So if you're interested in any entry level, and I know it sounds crazy, but a lot of people have been spending a lot more money on bikes, this is still considered an entry-ish level bike. Maybe not as entry level as like the entry $800 to $1,000 range, but within the $1,000 to $2,000 range is pretty common for a lot of road bikes that I've seen, especially if you want a decent drivetrain, which this has in 105, hydraulic brakes, and obviously aluminum frame and then carbon fork. So since my last video with the 400 mile update, I've only done 2 upgrades. And one of them is actually for the bike, which is the pedals, which you can see here. And here are my Shimano M520 pedals with my Giro Berm clipless shoes that have duct tape over them just because it's been cold and I've been lazy. And I don't have overshoes, so I am putting tape on it to avoid any wind going through. And then secondly, my second upgrade is buying a bike computer. So a lot of people online recommend getting a Garmin, a Wahoo, and especially as just a casual biker, I don't see myself spending that much money on a bike GPS that I don't really particularly need. Maybe if in a couple years when I get more into cycling and I actually want to go longer distances, need maps, all those extra features, I'll invest in one. But just like in the video, just like in this clip, I'm actually bought a ZOX, however you pronounce it, G+. I got it on Amazon for about $25 on a lightning deal. You can actually find this on their website, sometimes on sale for $30, $40, and it connects with other sensors that they have, other sensors outside of their brand. But for $25, I've been using this bike computer for the last 2-3 weeks, and it's been pretty accurate. It takes some time to kind of connect to it, but instead of having to run the battery on my phone, I use that, and it's around 15 hours of straight GPS connectivity. So if you are planning on getting a bike computer and you want to know your speed, maybe your cadence, or even just recording your distance, this is a decent entry level bike computer to get. $25 is not that much, and it works very well. So we'll get into our regrets now. And lastly, I just want to get into any regrets I have with the bike. So far, I don't have any. As I keep riding, I sometimes wish I spent a little more on a bike, maybe like $2,000 to $3,000, but that's something a little further along the lines. I think my next bike, if I were to get one, might be a BMC T machine. I think an SLR02, if I'm not mistaken. It's about $5,000, and it will be an upgrade to Ultegra Di2, which is the electronic shifting. Obviously 105 and Ultegra are pretty close together since they're both 11 speed. The only difference with Ultegra is a lot lighter. So if you do need a really light bike, full carbon frame, Ultegra, you definitely want to invest in a more expensive bike. Maybe the TCR Advance, if I'm not mistaken. But besides that, those are the only comments I have about the bike. I plan to ride this bike for the next couple thousand miles. I don't really plan on upgrading anytime soon. Maybe I'll get a mountain bike just to take advantage of any trails I have around here. But besides that, I don't plan on selling this bike anytime soon. If you are a casual rider, I 100% recommend this bike to you, and I think it'll go a long way. I think the price point is $1,700 now. I paid $1,600 or $1,650 before taxes. So if you do plan on getting this type of bike, remember to do your research beforehand. If you're looking for 105, Sora, Claris, or Ultegra, whatever drivetrain with SRAM, and then the type of brakes you want. So if you want, I think, mechanical, hydromechanical, which is the hybrid kind, and then straight hydraulic brakes, which is this one has. And if you think brakes are very important, I definitely recommend going to hydraulic. It makes a huge difference between mechanical. And obviously with the drivetrain, if you do plan on going with Claris, Sora, or 105, make sure that this is something you want to get into. Usually a lot of bike shops or even other people online recommend getting a Claris if you're not really into biking and you just want something just to get around town or occasionally go on bike rides. But if you plan on riding it and you know you like riding, definitely upgrade to at least the 105 drivetrain if this is your first type of bike. Just because you have all the features of 105, so you won't have to upgrade anytime soon. But if you guys have any questions, please comment down below. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys later.